Hello everyone, it's been a while since we've done a garden tour, so let's do an August garden tour now. Hi everyone, I'm Kim and you're at Kim's Cozy Corner, and we are just past mid-August and we need to look at the garden so you can see how it's doing. There are some things that are dying back, but I am harvesting like crazy. Since I am harvesting quite a few things, we will just show you how the garden's doing. I'll pick a few things as well. We'll talk about things that I'm expecting to be coming in the next few weeks. So we will start right here at my trellis area. This is my arch trellis area, and I have pole beans growing here. Now my pole beans got off to a very rocky start, but I am finally getting pole beans. Yes, it's August and we're just starting to get pole beans, but the beans are covering the whole trellis. I don't know if it's gonna have time to fully fill in or not, but at least I am finally getting pole beans. That pesky rabbit didn't take them all out. So let me bring you in close just to show you how they're vining and how beautiful the blooms are. It's early in the morning, but you should be able to see there's some blooms way up high. I've probably harvested, I don't know, a couple dozen of beans, but they're just now starting to come in. And one thing about pole beans, once they start coming, y'all, they don't stop. So pole beans are on the way. Look, there's some little beans there and a few more up there, but we will be eating pole beans. Now, I personally believe that pole beans have a deeper, richer bean taste. Now, there are so many different varieties of beans out there, but for me, I prefer my, what is that, Blue Lake? I think they're Blue Lake pole beans, and just a nice, deep, traditional, rich green bean taste. So we're getting those in now. And y'all, guess what? I had already harvested a few things before I started this. So when I get over next to my harvest basket, I'll share with you what I did harvest as we're looking at the garden and how it's doing. Right here in my garden, y'all, I'm supposed to have a ton of cucumbers, but I don't have a ton of cucumbers. I do have a few plants that survived the cucumber beetles, and they're trying to hold on, but I don't have any cucumbers here that are ready to harvest. But I do have one cucumber that is way too far gone. This cucumber is completely ripe. When we pick our cucumbers green, technically they're not ripe yet. Once it turns yellow and get like this, it's ripe or overripe, and it actually has a really bitter taste. At least I think it's a very bitter taste. But this is the type seeds I want. I want mature seeds. So we're going to take this one in and harvest the seeds from it so I don't have to purchase this type of seeds for next year. Now the question is, what kind of cucumber is it? And I honestly don't remember, but I know it must be something I like or I wouldn't have grown it. So we are going to take this overripe cucumber in and harvest the seeds. Over here I have cabbage growing, and I've harvested quite a bit of cabbage, but it's time to harvest a few more heads of cabbage. But we're going to get them from another area versus from right here. Yep, looks like we have a tomato here that needs to be picked. Is blushing, and I am going to pick all of the tomatoes that are ready, so we'll go ahead and take this one with us. Moving on around to the front of the garden here, all of these are my strawberries in the fire rings. There's a GreenStalk full of strawberries, and there's another one right here full of strawberries. And it was quite warm early in the spring, or I should say late spring. So we didn't get as many strawberries as we wanted, but they're starting to bloom again. And y'all, that means strawberries are going to be around the corner. The weather is cooling off, but it's still perfect for strawberries. It's kind of weird. I'm in August and I'm having June weather in August. And in June, I had August weather, but I'm not going to complain. I'm hoping we can get strawberries since I have so many in this space right here. Early this season, I had so many transplants, and I do mean transplants, that I put them everywhere. So I have Costa Rica peppers growing right here, and look how big they are, y'all. Look, these peppers are huge, and they are sweet peppers, and they are going to be delicious. This one's starting to ripen just a little bit. I had a massive deep red one on here that my neighbors got to enjoy, and they were just talking about how good those peppers were. Now this one needs just a little bit of support, so I'm gonna have to find a way to support it, but not right now. Right here in the front of this bed, we've harvested and harvested and harvested more broccoli, and we will continue to harvest broccoli as long as we can. Right here, I have another round of squash going, and it doesn't look like there are squash bugs on it yet, but there will be. But these are my little round zucchinis, and there's a little bitty zucchini on there, so hopefully it has time to produce. Now, I haven't been talking about my ground cherries, but y'all, I got so many ground cherries, and I do mean so many ground cherries. They're falling everywhere. I believe they're going to kind of take over this space here because there's more ground cherries than I can do anything with, and they're falling everywhere. Ground cherries, if you've never had them, and this was my first year, they're little fruit inside. These kind of remind me of tomatillos because they're inside, but once you get the outside husk off, there's a little berry inside, or cherry or tomato, whatever you want to call it, but that's what you're going to eat, that right there. And they're sweet, and then they do have this other taste to it, but they're very good. And I only planted 2 plants, and I really only needed 1 because this thing is going everywhere. But those are my ground cherries. Just beside the ground cherries right here are more green beans. So I just started getting green beans, and I do mean just started getting green beans the end of July. I'm normally harvesting green beans in late April, May, actually, let's say early May. Because of my rabbit, the rabbits ate all of my beans down, and so I had to plant more beans. And these are coming in nicely. I've harvested from over here twice. These are Roma 2 beans and something else, I don't remember what. But Roma 2 beans are flat beans. They're going to be wide and flat. This one's not quite ready yet, but I wanted to kind of show you what it's going to look like. It's going to be wide and flat. I have planted these for Grandpa, and Grandpa is going to get to enjoy some of these later this upcoming week because I picked him a ton of these a little earlier today. I forgot to mention on the back side of this bed here, I planted more cucumbers. So here's a white cucumber coming in right here. I also planted some watermelon, and I didn't expect the watermelon to do anything, but there's one watermelon right there. I seriously doubt it's going to get any bigger. I don't think it's going to make, but there's a watermelon, y'all. And since we haven't had such a good season with our cucumbers this year, when I found a spot, y'all, I planted a cucumber. Everywhere I found a spot, I put a cucumber in. So hopefully we will continue to be able to harvest at least enough cucumbers for fresh eating this season, but I seriously doubt I'll get enough to do any canning with this year. But I still have a year's supply from last year. In the front of this bed right here, I have planted more cabbage and broccoli all along the front here on the other side of my ground cherries here. That's cabbage and broccoli. I planted that back in July, and they were leftover transplants from early in the season, and I honestly didn't expect them to take, but they did, and they're coming in and they're healthy. They're doing really well. I have sage growing right there, marjorams growing right there, chives in the middle, and way back there on the other side over there, that's time growing over there. So this bed is still very happy. This is a Vego Garden metal raised bed. I have 5 of them. And these raised beds have done amazing for me. Vego Garden metal raised beds. I've been growing potatoes in them, and this is my second round of potatoes in this metal raised bed. I've gotten the biggest potato harvest this year. And so I got one harvest out and we put another set in and they are blooming. These are blooms right here, which means potatoes are developing down below. So I do believe the metal raised beds are my preferred method for growing potatoes going forward. There is a link to Vego Garden in the description below, as well as some coupon codes if you're interested in the Vego Garden products. We were having such a hard time growing cucumbers, so I planted some bush cucumbers in this space right here. And today I harvested cucumbers off of there. When we get back around to my little container, I'll show you the couple cucumbers that I harvested. We are still harvesting broccoli from over here. I need to get that picked sometime today. And just beside the broccoli, I have more cabbage. And this is second round cabbage growing in this space here. Just on the edge here, I have containers of potatoes growing. These are second round potatoes. And I've already started harvesting my second round of potatoes, but these still have just a little time. There's still a lot of green on these potato plants. So I made it back around to my basket. So let me show you the couple of things that I've already harvested. So these are my Space Master cucumbers. So these are bush cucumbers. So I harvested a couple of those. I have a white cucumber that I harvested earlier today. And these are those flat green beans, Roma 2 green beans that I harvested. I got some in my pocket too. Let me find them. I'll stick a bean anywhere. Where did I put it? All right, now I got all my beans. Harvested some pole beans. These are dragon tongue beans right here. So we harvested some dragon tongue beans as well. So this is just a few of the things that I harvested without you. And now we're gonna go harvest the rest of these tomatoes before we keep moving on in the garden because they're right in front of me and I just can't let them sit there any longer. So I'm harvesting tomatoes, every 2 or 3 days. I mean, they're coming in fast. And yes, I had, I'm scared of worms. Please, no worms, no worms. I planted, well over 100 tomato plants this year. Some of those plants didn't make it. User error. But most did. So I can't even get to that one. Come on now. I had some issues with my dwarf tomatoes, so that's the ones I kind of struggled with a little bit this year. But my indeterminate tomatoes did amazing. And I do mean amazing. But these are all Roma tomatoes right here. The Roma tomatoes have done amazing. And this really isn't about a tomato harvest and letting you know all the different varieties or anything like that. This is really a garden tour, so I'm going to pick them very quickly and we will finish with the tour. I may have got the wrong size basket, y'all. Hopefully they'll fit. That white cucumber, believe it or not, I have one cucumber plant over here, and that's that white cucumber, and it's growing up with the tomatoes. And that's where I found that cucumber today, the white one. So just a few tomatoes, just a few, not many. Way more than I thought though. So I did harvest a tomato earlier this week that was, I thought, my largest tomato, but y'all, I was wrong. It wasn't the largest one, it was the second largest one. Here's a picture of it. And look how beautiful it is. It's a hillbilly and it's gorgeous and it's going to taste amazing. In this space right here, I have a cabbage growing, and just behind it, you really can't tell, but I have turnip greens growing in that bed back there. I planted them, ooh, less than a week ago, and they've already broken ground. And turnip greens are more of a cool season crop, and they grew well in that space earlier this year, and we're growing them again. In this bed right here, I have my squash growing, and it's started off pretty late, and now the squash bugs have gotten to it, but I have quite a few squash over there I need to harvest. So let me grab those so we can finish our tour, but I need to get that squash, y'all. This plant is completely infested with squash bugs. I mean, look at all those squash bugs right there, all of them right there. I mean, look at that, y'all. Look at all those squash bugs. This plant will be lucky to survive the next 2 or 3 days. This has by far been the worst season for cucumber beetles and squash bugs for me. I have never been overrun like this. But there are 2 crookneck squash. I see 3 more down there, but I need them to get a little bigger. Maybe they'll survive, but there's 2. And right here is that head of cabbage that I told you I needed to get. That's full of cucumber beetles, believe it or not. Cucumber beetles on my cabbage, but they're not eating the cabbage. But there's a little bitty head of cabbage that we're going to take care of. Oh, that's a nice hard head too. Let's get this one out. They're small, but nice firm heads of cabbage. Now that one's perfect. This one is all busted up, but we will enjoy it anyway. Now, I don't show this area that often, but back here, this is my Brussels sprouts. And y'all, I'm getting Brussels sprouts this year. I have 3 beds. So I have this bed here, this bed right beside it, and back there with that corn that I need to take out, those stems, there's 3 more way back there. Now, I'm not going to harvest all of these right now, but I'm going to get one just so I can show you they're almost ready. That's the only reason I'm going to take one off. Because I've never been able to get Brussels sprouts, y'all. Look at that. I have Brussels sprouts for the first time ever, even though I've been trying to grow them now for 3 years. And every time I sell my plants, other people get Brussels sprouts, but I will have Brussels sprouts. Honestly, I could pick them right now, but I'm going to wait because I'm going to pick them and cook them. Now, this plant's farther along than all the rest of them, but y'all, we got Brussels sprouts coming in. And y'all, I saved my green stalks for last. I have 13 GreenStalk vertical planters, and when I am not planting in a raised bed, my preferred way of planting would be in a GreenStalk vertical planter. In all honesty, I like my GreenStalk vertical planters just as much as I do my raised beds. And then behind there are my typical containers. But I have 13 of these, and some of them got off to a rough start because of user error, because I let it roll off my sidewalk. But it has bounced back, y'all. Look at this GreenStalk. It's green, it's healthy. I got green beans coming in up here. I know the sun's in the wrong place right now for me to be trying to show you this, but I have blooms on green beans. I have black cherry tomatoes that don't belong in here. And if anything survives, black cherry tomatoes survive everything. But there are new blooms on the dwarf tomato plants that did survive, and there were quite a few that did survive, and we have new blooms. I have cucumbers over here. No blooms yet. Yep, no blooms yet, but they're healthy. They look good. Tomorrow we will fertilize this planter. Actually, we'll fertilize everything in the garden. It's been 2 weeks. But I have, this was my dwarf tomato planter, and I'm still getting some dwarf tomatoes, so it's not all bad. And they're green and healthy again. They were black, ooh, dead, but they are back. Well, some of them are. Like, some of them are completely dead. I need to just cut them out, but most of them have come back. I do have blooms on these cucumbers right here. Let me bring you in close. Let's do a close-up of all the green stalks. So here's one of the 13 green stalks. There are green beans in there. There are dead plants in there. There are my burpees, bush steak tomatoes. There are tomatoes on there. I mean, it's coming back, y'all. It's coming back. It's not a total loss. In this green stalk right here, I have lettuce in the top. It's coming in nicely, the lettuce is. And I have a ton of petunias in here. I had too many petunias, y'all, and I planted them anywhere and everywhere. On the bottom 5 tiers, along with the petunias, I am growing collard greens. These I started from seeds, and they're coming in. They have a little bit of pest pressure with worms, but my daughter picked those all off for me the other day. I did transplant 2, and I've been harvesting off of this one now a couple times, and it'll be time to harvest this again in a couple of days. But the ones that I planted from seed are coming in. Like, this one's super thick. This one has 3 or 4 in it, and that one has none. So I will move some from here to there to fill in those empty pockets. This green stalk is all sweet peppers and many different varieties of sweet peppers in here. These were all transplanted in this year. And I mean, they are doing amazing. I have peppers that just need to turn yellow, red, or orange, or this one here is already turned. It's a little baby one. I have big horn style peppers in here, bell peppers in here. It's a beautiful planter. It's nice and green. It's very full, so it's looking great. Now, all of these peppers, you can pick them when they're green, but I like mine to turn red, orange, purple, whatever color it turns when it's super ripe. This green stalk back here, again, is all sweet peppers. And look at this, y'all. Look at these habanadas, y'all. Look at that. Ooh, they're so pretty. There's one of those habanados, and orange is the ripe color. And I did have the opportunity to taste these. They are delicious. And in the bottom 3 tiers, I have a variety of peppers, but these are all overwintered peppers in here, all of them. So if we look at what we got down here, I know I'm in the shade, but look at that. Y'all, that's one of my favorite peppers right there, Thunderbolt. I have bell peppers in here, nice, big, thick, heavy bell peppers. Horn-shaped peppers of all different colors and shapes. Right here, some more. These are my yellow monsters. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the yellow monsters. They are coming in like gangbusters. Now look at that one there. So this is looking amazing. Banana peppers as well. We're looking good. Another strawberry green stalk back there. I have another green stalk right here. It also has dwarf tomatoes in it. Some of them have died completely back. Some of them are still producing. But I also have carrots, and I also have green beans, and I also have cucumbers in here, and broccoli, and a lot of stuff. If you're interested in a green stalk, I do have a link below that'll take you to their website so you can see all the different things they have to offer. I've been growing in my green stalks now. This is my fourth or fifth year. I don't lost count, y'all, to be honest with you. And I do love my green stalks. And I have a coupon code, Kozy10, if you're interested in purchasing a green stalk. Just put Kozy10 and you get $10 off your purchase of $75 or more. This green stalk has some empty pockets that we need to get filled up for the fall season. I will probably add some more lettuce because with it cooling down, my lettuce is going to do a lot better this time of year. So we'll probably be adding more lettuce and probably some carrots in here. But it's doing really, really well. I've been harvesting off of here and it's still coming in. But like anything, when you're talking about your tomatoes can get disease and that can kill them off. You can also have determinate tomatoes, which grow to a determinate height as well as a determinate amount of tomatoes, kind of like they put them all on at one time, and then they're done for the season. And so I did have a few of those in here, not a lot, but a few. And so some of these have died off. Look at this purple broccoli, y'all. Ooh, this purple broccoli, it's looking good. I need to harvest that too. So anyway, fresh blooms coming in. Just wanted to show you how some of the green stalks are doing. Now, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to harvest some of these peppers before I call it a day. Ah, I cut the wrong part of the plant. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sure you'll still be good. Well, I hope you enjoyed the quick garden tour for August. And while I was out here, y'all, I picked a few things, just a few things. And I picked a few things during the week that I didn't share with you. So here's a picture of the things I picked this week that I didn't get a chance to record and share with you, but I took a picture because a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if I add what's in the pictures and what I have here, here are my total weights for the harvest this week for the things that I haven't shared yet. And y'all, the pounds and pounds are adding up. And there's so many more things I could have picked today, but y'all, it's hot. And we will wait till a cooler day and we'll come out here and pick a few more things. But for now, that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel and I will keep these coming. We got to get inside and do some more preserving as well. But that's it for today. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Bye.